I still feel guilty, man. It's been 16 years, because I was too focused on me. So it's like,
I just saw on Instagram today that, like myself, you are also stepping back from the JT program.
to me, D2 shouldn't exist. I built myself around being a paintball player, and I've come to realize that's really wrong.
Photographer of the Year. Let's hear it for Dan Shelley, Shellda Photos.
Courage in my veins, running uphill, a wildfire heart that never stays still. I was born with a spark my daddy couldn't kill.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Shellda podcast, where today I am joined by just a true legend in the game, a pioneer for many, many years, and one of the most feared players of all time, and probably one of the most devoted family men in paintball. Thomas Taylor, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. What an introduction. Holy moly.
God is good, baby. I've enjoyed the last, triple decades or whatever it's been. And that was good. I liked it. Thank you. Yeah, it's so cool, like being in this spot, preparing for these shows, bringing on, people like you and just some of the icons and legends of the game. I do a lot of research, and it brings back so much nostalgia for me, because I'll see pictures from when I was a kid, and seeing like you in the magazines with the mohawk, and it's just like, holy shit. Now fast forward to seeing all the things that you've done in the last, 2 or 3 decades in the sport, and what you're still doing. It's unreal. And we'll dive into that for sure. But I do want to start off with, I think, some hot news. I just saw on Instagram today that, like myself, you are also stepping back from the JT program. Hold up just a minute. Before we go any deeper, I need to give a huge shout out to some show sponsors. Some of these companies are truly the lifeblood of paintball and help continue the sport growing forward. And so having them partner with me, it makes sense, right? I'm always trying to grow and propel the sport forward. So it's just been a beautiful partnership. But first and foremost, BFPGear. It's been such a cool thing working with one of the biggest brands in paintball. And speaking of that, why don't we actually just pull up their website and see what they have going on? Because I think they've got a lot of new products. Man, first and foremost, if you don't know this about BFPGear, a little hidden gem, when you go to their website, these banner pictures that you see, those are actually pictures that I took over the last few seasons. So it's pretty cool that my work is also featured right on BFPGear's website. But what I love about BFPGear is if you go over to their new tab, this is where you can always see what's new and what's coming out in the paintball industry. And one of the things that I saw this past weekend was the new infamous hyper light tank, especially the 80cc one. There were a few folks out at Texas Paintball that had these new tanks, and they were raving about them. They were raving how light they were and how it just made their whole entire setup feel so much better. So head over to bfpgear.com and pick up one of the new infamous hyperlight tanks while you can. And speaking of infamous, as you guys know, I'm decked out head to toe in Pro DNA and Infamous gear. It's been so cool working with them so far. And as this episode goes live, I'm actually working with the Pro DNA team on my designs for this year, my jersey design that I'll be wearing at different events, as well as some of the drops that we're doing. And I've seen some of the early concepts, and these are going to go pretty quick. So I cannot wait for you to see them. And if your team is looking to get hooked up with gear this year, head over to the link I have in the description. Not only do I have a 10% discount on some of the Pro DNA gear, but they also have sponsorship opportunities for you and your team. And then last but not least, anyone that knows me, I do not step on the field without my Hormesis headband. And a few years ago, I did a pretty cool partnership with Hormesis where I wrote a children's book that was in collaboration with Dynasty and with Hormesis. And if you know, I always keep a few of these headbands in my bag with me. And every once in a while, if I'm at a field and I see a little kid walking around, maybe a young gun, maybe someone just starting out in the sport, I always have a few of these in my bag to hand out. And so that's just been a cool collaboration that I've done with Hormesis. Last year, we did a cool collaboration with a headband. And this year, I'm really excited to continue our partnership with Hormesis and rock the best headband in the game. Okay, thanks to my sponsors, and back to the episode.
Yeah. I mean, JT was awesome. We ran the WCPL boost last year. Really, my wife Tiffany Taylor. Shout out to her. She is a godsend. She is an awesome wife. She's a wonderful mother. She's the team mom, and she ran the JT booth. I mean, we ran it together, but I'm coaching 2 teams and she's helping in between. She's running all the finances. But yeah, I had to step back this year. I'll kind of release that over the next few days.
Awesome.
Because it's not just about me. It's about my son. It's about a camp we're building. We just had tryouts. We're going to have over 40 people in our camp going forward. I mean, we just have a lot of hungry people. And I had a lot of people reach out to me as soon as I said, hey, we're going to have a semi-pro team.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, I've been doing a lot of soul searching, and honestly, between yesterday and today, people reached out. We made some deals. I haven't signed anything in ink, but I feel comfortable where we're at. And so, you know, out of respect, I let John Rathburn and GI and JT know that it's time for me to go in a different direction based on where I'm at in my life and what I want to do. You know, first, I'm going to back up there. I had to step back from shock. I want to shout out to my boys that all made the pro team. Yo, Rooney, Jet, Max, Michael, I love you. We were this close to win a World Cup, man. We were one mistake away. KP, my dog, Cole, let's go, baby. Dreads. So they went on to play with Aftershock, and I am so happy for them. Yeah. But I let them know about midway through the season that wasn't my plan. Yeah. My plan was not to do that. And so, you know, step back from the team there. Was kind of still thinking, okay, well, I'll work something out with JTGI, because I'm not gonna lie to you, in my son's room over there, I got like $10,000 worth of JT stuff, right? I mean, we're JT through and through. We always have been.
Same here, yeah.
But I mean, that's more for me is nostalgic from, you know, when I started. JT was the thing, right, back in the late mid 90s. Yeah. Yeah, they treated me really well. It was a great year. I love the drops. I love the things we did. I loved running the booth. I enjoyed that they let me and my wife do it. Working with Ryan Greenspan was awesome. I got to actually know him as a person this year. And, you know, I mean, we've had our differences in the past because we've been competitors. You know, he really grew on me. I'm glad he's got a family doing his thing. And Billy, obviously, I love Billy and just the whole group. I mean, I've been great friends with AO. So nothing bad to say about JT or GI. They have treated me well. But I have people I have to take care of now, and I have a lot of ambitions and things I need to do, you know, outside of my regular job to create a pro team. And that's where we're at. We're on a path to create a pro team, and I got to do what's going to be best for that. So stepping back, love you guys. And for all you that are going to watch this soon, get ready for some big news because I'm making moves.
Yeah, you know, it'd be crazy. So like you and I are recording on Tuesday night, and my episode this morning just dropped announcing, you know, like why I left JT, and I talk about all the things of my decisions of why I left. And again, all love to JT. Like they were incredible to work with, and everyone that you named have just been nothing but the best people around. So there's no bad blood.
No,
it's crazy that like you and I are on, and around this time last year, the conversations were starting about you and I joining the elite program, and now we're going our separate ways to, you know, really believe in ourselves and try to further things that we want to accomplish. So it's the timing is wild of having you on.
Well, and you could have made it up, right? It's not like it was planned by any means whatsoever. I mean, I can tell you, you know, Wednesday of last week, no decisions were made. You know, over the last 5 days, decisions have been made, and things have come to fruition, and things happened that we won't really talk about, but good, bad, or indifferent. Like there, you know, I believe all things work out for a reason, and I'm excited about the future. And JT and GI are going to do awesome, and they're going to continue to crush.
Gosh, yeah.
And, you know, I mean, they might not have our beautiful faces to represent their product, but, you know, Ryan's the golden boy. They got him. So just keep rocking that face. You're good. You're good.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep him at the poster, you know? Yeah. Let's transition and talk about, I think the other recent news, the team that's kind of exploded in this last year is Iconic. And I think the recent announcement was you guys are stepping into semi-pro. Like, just what a wild trajectory you guys have been on with that. Talk to me about that.
You know, man, this is way faster than I planned it. Right. Not that I was ever planning it, but that I hoped it maybe. I guess you could say I'm planning because I work really hard on coaching. I really do. And, you know, it's funny because I think the only guy that's really given me any kudos in our league. I mean, I've coached semi-pro teams to pro before. People don't know. I've coached every division over the last 20 years. It wasn't, you know, Marcelo finally gave me some props not too long back and said I don't get enough not enough recognition. But it's because I don't do it for the recognition. Like when we have team photos and we win, I'm like, I don't need to be the center. I got to be holding the trophy. I just want to be a part of their journey. But yeah, I mean, when we started the Infamous Kids, I think 4 years ago now, and we went to that first World Cup, none of those kids had ever even played 5-man. Like they were 3-man. They played local events, and then they won a World Cup against Team USA players and people that played paintball all the time, like, and then they won it again. And then we went to D5 and they took second overall. They had a hiccup. And then I moved them straight to D3 and add some other players that I'd been coaching on other teams into that mix. Now we kind of molded some other players, and they went on to take the WCPPL D3 series. And I don't know if you understand how hard that is. Like, and this is no knock on any other league in the world, but WC D3 is harder than D3 World Cup. And for those that are not going to believe me out there, World Cup, you have your teams that all play. But at WC, you get all these players that have been playing since the mecca of paintball, because I don't care what you think. If you don't know, paintball started in California. It's been California. It would always be California. It might not be the biggest now. Texas, Florida, there's some really good areas. I think Texas is probably the biggest. Shout out to Paintball Fit, X Factor, now Hurricanes. I mean, there's a lot of programs there. It's growing. That's going to be the new mecca of paintball, if it's not already. Yeah. But you get these players, like I show up and I'm like, we played pro against each other, right? Like, yeah, there's 3 of you on the team. Yeah. Oh, well, my son's 15. He just started. See you out there. Like it's really, really tough because these guys don't want to travel. They just play local. Sure. Or all those traveling East Coast teams, they can't come over to the WC. All their best players get paid to come over. I don't have a paid roster. I didn't have drop down players. I bring them up. And so, and this isn't about me, it's about them. Like what they were able to accomplish in year 1 of a WC D3. I don't know that anybody's ever done it. You can ask my Himman, but I honestly don't think anybody has ever done it. These kids, we had an average age of 17 on the paintball field, and you're playing, teams like Supreme. You're playing, Collision. You're playing, NCK. You're playing, old semi-pro DMG teams. Like it's just, these are full rosters that have years and years of experience. And these kids came out and showed that they could win it. So they have no choice but to go to Premier because they played so well. And then we go to World Cup, and that came down to a ref's decision, whether they moved on or not. I'm not knocking the ref at all. It was a rough decision. And that team that beat them won World Cup, just so we're clear. I got a little flack when Planet Eclipse announced we're going semi-pro, when NXL announced we're going semi-pro. I'm like, maybe you don't get it. When Wrecking Crew went from D3 to semi-pro, they won the second event. I might be wrong, Shellda. I'm pretty sure they won the second event, right? Or third.
I think you're right.
It's 2 or 3. What people don't understand is, and this is I want to be careful here because there's some teams that probably have some passion there. To me, D2 shouldn't exist. So I just want to set that as the line. You don't go to D2. You either play D3 or you play semi-pro. For me, there's no reason to play D2 because just like the lower end semi-pro teams are there, I respect newbies for doing it because they were on a rebuild season. They went down, won like 3 out of 5 events, and now they're right back, right? So I respect that. I can respect that because they were on a rebuild and they wanted a chance to teach people how to win, some newer players. So I totally get that because everybody says you need to learn how to lose. Bro, we spend our whole lives losing.
You learn how to win.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? 25 years in. I can count, like it takes all my hands and fingers to count how many wins I got.
Yeah.
But bro, we could look down the hallway on the losses I've got if we're only counting first, right? There ain't enough room in my house. You feel me? Right? Like, so learning to win is very huge. And I think a lot of people have that backwards. So yes, there is a lot of hype around it. And I'm not going to go out there and say that they're going to win everything in the world. All I can say is their track record says every time they move up, they get better.
Sure.
And they work hard. And this team has 3 championships in 4 years built from local players that had zero experience. That's what I can tell you.
I mean, that's what you're seeing now, right? That's the shift that I think the whole industry is seeing. It's not, hiring guns to come in and play. It's all these homegrown local almost like an old factory team that's getting created now, where you have a system that you're building up. And so it's so cool to see you guys doing that, because that just shows longevity of how the success can be for the next few years for Iconic on where it's going to go.
Yeah. And we have a goal. We'd like to win a pro spot in 2 years. And, selfishly for me, and also rewarding, is Keith practiced with me all year last year. It was part of my deal with Shock, that Keith would go to every practice. He would go to every event. He would have a team to play with, but and if he earned a spot on Shock, he could play on Shock, and he did by the 4th event. I didn't allow him to play the 5th event because he has Iconic. So we got to play one event together, which was really cool. He played really well. I think he only got shot once in the event. So, I mean, he did good. But this year, him earning it, right? Him and his D3 team. It's not just him. It's just the group of people. It's the human beings. It's the coaching staff. It's my wife, everybody. They earned Premier, which means they earned semi-pro. And I think some people are going to miss that. You know what? And I'm not going to go out and say we're going to win every event, but we're going to be competitive every event. And I get to join my son, not my son join me. Who could have wrote that?
That's wild. Yeah.
I always have been planning for Keith to join Infamous with me, or Keith to join Heat with me, or Keith to join Shock with me. I've been, and God's in control, man. I'm telling you, you guys, you think what you want. I know we all have our own beliefs,
sure,
but I had a plan. I had a path. I'm working. My son's working. And next thing you know, I'm joining him. He's not joining me. I'm joining him, dude.
Yeah.
His team won it, so for me, that's exciting. You know how motivating that is with me? I don't even have feeling in this arm anymore. That's how old I am. And I'm out here let me hit the gym every day. I gotta go, right?
It just ignites a fire in you, it seems like.
It is. It's totally just it's a reinvigorating.
Yeah.
I won't say that I've ever got bored of it. And I when I stepped on the pro field with Shock, and it might make me a little teary right now. So if I get teary, I'm sorry. But that's all I've known my whole adult life. So people that don't understand, there's a probably 50% of the pro league that I've been playing pro longer than they've been alive. Right? I've been playing paintball definitely longer than they've been alive. So, sorry. It is hard to step on that field and it not mean something so much more to me than I think I could even express on this podcast or anywhere else.
Yeah,
for a long time, oh man, all I was a paintball player, bro. I built myself around being a paintball player, and I've come to realize that's really wrong. Just for all you chasing your dreams, God, family, everything else, man, over the time, but it doesn't mean it still doesn't move me. And so when I stepped on that field and we had a chance to win, and we came up short, we lost a 3-on-2. But I was happy, sad in that moment, because I was on that field. I'm looking around at the flags and I see all the flags that I've won. I'm counting how many of those that were mine, right? That I did that. I was there with Heat. I was there with Infamous. I was there, I'm doing that, right? So I'm looking around this flag, and then I look back over, and my teammates had gone to the pits, and I'm like, but I'm out here on this stage with a 17-year-old D4 player, and he's on the biggest stage of his life. He's never been here. I've been doing this for 23 straight years, I think.
Yeah.
So it means something to me, right? And so my identity is no longer as being a professional paintball player. I had to swallow that pride and suck that down really last year when I decided I would take the semi-pro spot for Keith, not for me. Does that make sense? We can figure it out if you want. That was a hard moment for me.
I would love, if you're okay with it, I would love for you to go a little deeper in that, because I think what you're describing is so many of the current, older isn't the right word, but we'll call the veteran players, right? Where they've been in the league for 20, 30 years. They're old at this point. And I think they've got, their identity is so tied into being a professional paintball player that they don't know what it looks like without it. And so by you doing that, I think and you explaining this, I think you're going to actually help some of these players step into whatever is next in their life.
Yeah, I mean that's really good, because I saw something with Archie the other day, and he said he
Oh
doesn't know
man,
what he used to want to do, and I know we're all struggling with that. I mean, my boy Colt, I mean, that dog's been here forever. He's like me. We're old dogs, Um, it's very hard, right? So I was able to get over that hump of pride, identity. I think I separated my identity a while ago when I really focused on God and family, right? So it's still my passion. It's been my passion, but I was able to come home and be a father, be a dad, be a husband, be a worker, right? Like, a provider, right? So those things started mattering more to me, but I couldn't let go of professional paintball. I mean, many times my wife said, I'm like, are you going to continue to do this? I'm like, I don't know what I do next though. And she's like, you just do this. I'm like, I'm too competitive.
Don't
Like,
understand.
you're good. You're not going to like me. Like, you're going to be like, yo, you're home all the time and you're like frustrated, and not in a bad way. Like, I am uber competitive. I mean, I truly believe that's one of the things outside of the God-given, opportunities that drives me, is I can't do it. But last year when New York had a bad year, or throughout the year, New York had a bad year, and I'd been reaching out to teams, and there was options, and then I started looking at their options, and we're balancing not just money anymore. We're talking time. I started balancing time, and is the time that I have left with my children. Oh God, this one's going to really get me.
This is the podcast to do it, right? Like, this is, I really pride myself in going deeper with my guests. And so by you opening up and saying it, like, other people are going to see this, and they're also going to be like, holy shit, I resonate so much with what you're going through too. So I appreciate you doing this.
I missed a lot of time when Keith was a baby.
Yeah.
I missed his first steps, his first words. And I caught that with the rest of my children, but I still feel guilty, man. It's been 16 years, because I was too focused on me. So it's like, when I realized that the ultimate value is time.
Yeah.
And then I got an offer to give me time with my son.
Yeah. Talk full circle moment there, like
to travel the country, travel the world, to play paintball, to do what I have done my whole life, but have him sit next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it still took me 2 days to become unprideful, because I don't know that I've even, outside of one event, I don't think I've ever played semi-pro. And that was because Aftermath died on event 4.
Yeah.
But I took second, right? I went out there with a team I'd never played before. I took second, and it was fun. My wife's a good supporter, man. She walked me through it, and pride is the hardest thing, guys. I don't care, D4, D5, D whatever. We had this conversation a lot of tryouts this week, and I had to call people this week and let them know they made the team, didn't make the team. And I had to call some people and say, you made the team, but I've seen you with other teams, and your thoughts of yourself cause problems in those teams, and I can't have that. I need you just to be a soldier and be a part of the answer, not a part of a problem. And it is. I think it's the hardest thing to come over. Maybe it's just for me. Maybe it's just 'cause I'm so competitive, but pride really gets us.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think some people say pride, and I think some people would also say ego, right? And I think they're both trying to say the same thing: is it's about me, it's about the self, and I need to do this. I need to be on the field. I paid entry fee, so I should be getting the reps, and that's just creating a wrong image of what a team or organization should be, because you're putting yourself above everyone else at that point. And so, yeah, I think what you're saying is what a lot of lower to mid-tier divisional teams go through. Is it's very ego, pride centric first, and then the team is second.
Yeah, because you get people that like, hey, look what I'm doing, look what I'm practicing. We dealt with it with Shock this year with some players. I won't name names, and I think they're all great human beings and great kids. But pride got the best of some people, pride got the best of some people, and I really went into this season, and I hope that the kids that stuck around all year can say that, like, especially in the beginning, I just bit my tongue. You want to play me once, you want to play me 10 times. I knew what it took to win, and I was just trying to be a good teammate, and that really helped this offseason, and just understanding that this year was not about, this year was about two things. Me investing into the shock program with a bunch of kids, and I saw them, I knew who they were, and they were super hungry. And I thought, man, how cool would it be to bring these kids in and have them win something? And we were so close, right? And the other thing is I get to spend a year traveling with my son, and maybe it never happens again. Maybe not, but we get to travel, and we got to travel. I mean, we spent 12 weekends in Florida, and we traveled all the country, and we went to France together. Yeah. And it was such a blessing, Tyler and Todd, thank you so much for that. And, and I wish I could have kept that path on, but Keith wasn't ready yet. And,
sure.
A lot of people go pro that aren't ready. A lot of people go semi-pro that aren't ready. And as much as I have given to, all right, God, you're in control, I'm going to follow this path, but I'm going to work hard. I truly don't want to push any of my players to put themselves in a position where they may get 3 or 4 reps a tournament when you could stay back 1 year and get 1,000 reps, because that's what's the difference in understanding the game. Skill wise, like these kids coming up, Shellda, I mean, go out there and try to snap shoot, and go out there and try to run against their lanes. I mean, they make our original pro look like D5 garbage.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But I can just pause, wait, and outthink them, right? And the only way you're going to get that is reps on reps on reps, right? So, I think I digressed a little bit, but man, swallowing your pride, humbling yourselves, and stepping back. And do I still have a goal to step back on the pro field? And was like, I got to play pro in Europe last year, and that was fun. But my goal is not to step back on for me. Otherwise, I'd be doing that right now. My goal is to help a group of people, and I get to be blessed that one of those people is my son, to chase their dreams. And that will be the ultimate accomplishment in my career. That will be the ultimate accomplishment. Doesn't matter how many trophies you win or what you do, right? I mean, I don't keep any of my stuff up. This is all for my son. God, it's good, man. All my stuff's just put away. I'm really past that. I'm prideful now in him. I'm prideful now in the people around me. These other kids, these Kobe's and these Zachs and these Sanders, and I can just list on names forever. Kat, she's just awesome young lady that wasn't even an athlete, but now she's just a great paintball player. These people I just get to divulge time into and effort. And this is all their stuff, man. Like I just get to be a passenger, a guide on that ship, and it's really cool, Shellda. It's really, really cool, and I still get to play. I still get to just harness my thing, and Keith and I, I'm going to coach them all at WCs this year and Premier. And then, I didn't even tell you about this. I got a great backstory if you want one. I know it's a little offshoot. So I started this journey. I started playing paintball in 95, but I started this journey in 2000, trying out for a team called God Kids. That team included myself, which was 20 at the time, and a bunch of kids. They were like 12 and 13, right? Bunch of little kids. One of those kids' names is Justin Hunter, and he's played, he played through God Kids. I went to Cartel. He later went to Cartel, and he's kind of kept the Cartel name alive all these years, right? So I had, we played a 7-man a while back and won one just for fun, mech event. But I had him come play with us at WC, the final event. We were on Max. He came and played, and they won that event. I think it was 9-6-3 first. But so, I just hit him up. I said, hey, man, we started this thing together 25 years ago. What do you want? You want to finish this thing the next 2 years? And he said, well, let me think about it, because he has this, he has another family, right?
Sure.
So he just, showed up this weekend, and it's official, man. Like him and I go play with Keith. So my day one homie and my son,
wow.
We get to spend the next couple of years together. before we both walk off into the sunset, and he's younger than me. Like I said, I was 20, he was 13. So I think he's 38. I'm sorry, he's 37. And I called you a year older. I'm old. I'm going to be 46 in June, people. I ain't hiding it, bro. I'm getting up there. But dude, I get to play with my day one homie. I get to play with my best friend in the world. And we got a good group of kids around us and people that I've been coaching and training, people that I trained from Ology that already won an event, when they're semi-pro. So it's good, man. I got to be at home. I only have to travel for events now, so yeah, let me just let me speak to all the other pros out there, maybe semi-pros, people that have been doing this for a long time. It doesn't have to end. Doesn't mean it won't hurt, but it can change and be better. And we're all afraid of change. But change can be good, man.
Yeah.
It can be so good. I could not have said that this is going to happen this year. All the things that are going to happen. It's hard. And, even at my young age of 45, I'm still learning. And as much as it does bring up emotions and you think you're going to miss something, we've done it, man. We have done it. You've done it. We've done it. I don't think, I think Mal says it the best when we talk, because I love that kid. I came up, we got to play with Aftermath together, and, we hit each other up every now and then. And I think he met him one of the most is like, man, you got nothing to prove. You've done it all, Thomas.
Yeah.
You've done it all, and because I respect him, obviously, I was the snake guy back in the day. Now he's the snake guy in my book, Billy Bernacci is right there, though. Got to give Billy. He's still holding on. But he gets it. I think he truly gets it. I don't think he's saying you can give it up, but he's like, hey man, when you walk away, no one's gonna doubt it. Matt Marshall says it a lot, bro. Come on, man. First ballot Hall of Famer, just retire. I'm like, I can't, dude. My son's playing. I wanted to. Honestly, part of me wants to. I heard every day when I wake up. I gotta think, oh man, I gotta go to the gym 5 times a week. Shoot,
He's the one holding you accountable now, which is crazy,
Yeah, it is. It's a different animal. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to say there's light at the end of the tunnel, but the next chapter, if your heart is in paintball and you decide that, what, it doesn't have to be about me stepping on that paintball field, even though I'm still going to do it. And you can do it in a fashion. Guys, we have so much to offer this paintball community, and it's given us so much. Yes, you all earned it. I earned it. I put in the work. I've sacrificed everything you could possibly sacrifice. I'll work until I'm dead because of it.
Yeah.
But it's also given us so much. So we have an opportunity to give back. And let me tell you right now, I can tell you that is just as rewarding.
Yeah. I mean, you hear it a lot from, if you're doing your reading, a lot of people talk about the highest form of mastery is when you become so good at something as a self, as an individual. The next step to hit the peak of that mountain is to give back and teach others the skill that you've just obtained. And you're now at that point where you've had the mastery of the self, and you're now giving that gift to other people to help grow other individuals as well.
And it is awesome to see when they win. You look into their eyes and you see that joy the first time they've won it. I got to coach some people this year that have been playing D3 for 10 years.
Yeah.
Right back and forth. It's the first time they've won, and then they won a series.
Yeah.
The emotion in their face is I am so spoiled. I just came up winning everything.
Yeah.
I'm just used to winning right up to pro, and then it was a battle.
Yeah.
But when you see what giving back to others can do for things they've been chasing for a lot of their, teenage and young adult life, and they finally accomplished this mountain they thought was impassable.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different kind of joy. I'm just telling you, man, it's a different kind of joy.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild for sure. And you're almost able to relive those moments that you achieved through those people. So even though you're giving back, you're still also in that moment, kind of flashback to when you were on stage at that age or something. So they go hand in hand together so well.
Absolutely.
you know, you've talked about your son a lot in this, and I've got some questions on him. I think I posted this at some point, but I took a picture of you and him. I think this was 2 years ago. It had to be because I think you're wearing an NY Extreme shirt, and this was such a cool moment for me, and I think it was for you too. So he's standing on the pro field with you, and he's telling you like what he's going to do and like what the lane he's looking at. I was like, oh shit, this is literally kids giving the dad the business right now.
Yeah, no. So I know where this photo was at. Yeah, I know exactly the moment because this is Vegas, and they're out there, and they had struggled a little bit in the prelims, and I don't really know why. You know, I can't put a finger on it, but he guested so that he's playing youth, and he guested with Shock. And Shock, he only got a few reps because he was the newer guy, not out of Florida. But when he came in, he was shooting the guy going to the Doritos 100% of the time, which didn't make any sense because I was running that against pros and making it. So this moment, he's like, yeah, man, I'm just shooting right there. And I'm like, say what? Like, come on. And then if you watch those finals, well, he shot one the first game, shot two the second game, and those final matches were over in like seconds. I'm like, I'll get it, bro. Like, cool. I get it. You're 14 at the time, you know. I'm like, sure, if you say so. I mean, you know, it's the beauty of children. They're like, no, you just shoot down there, dad, and they're dead. I'm like, you know, I've been doing it my whole life. I shoot down there and they're not dead. Like, I get you're just like, aim, fire. Oh, cool. I mean, if it works in your mind and it's a reality, awesome. You know, and I think that's why I'm so passionate about the youth. If you were like, listen, once a youth is bought in, right? Once a youth player's bought in, right? They want it, they're passionate about it. You can be like, yo, I need you to run to that corner on your hands while holding your feet with your gun and then shoot left. You're gonna get 2 kills. And I'm telling you right now, they could probably pull it off.
Oh, they would.
It is the most, because they're just like, they don't second guess.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah. Now you tell them to hold that and they're like, I can't even walk on my hands, right? They don't even get to the shoot the person to the left. They're never even, their mind blocks you out, right? And I'm making up a crazy story, but you know, when the kids won their first World Cup, I'm like, you're going to stand right here. You're going to shoot that guy. He's on Team USA and he won't make the bunker. He's like, what? But I'm out in the open. I'm like, yeah, just stand right here. You shoot that spot. He's going to die. Like, okay. Kid had never done it before in his life. Never played a blind spot in his life. Whips up, boom. Tiger won. We make the snake. Finals are over. Go back and watch it if you don't believe me. I mean, kids, they just, if you can get them to buy in. But the more I do this, I'm finding a way to do that with young adults.
Yeah.
To get the buy-in, right? It's a different mentality. Like kids just take you at their word, right? And when I say kids, I'm talking about youth. We're talking about like that 10 to like 16. And then they start like second guessing life. You know, that's when you're like, start looking in the mirror and be like, oh,
insecurity creeps in.
Yeah, right. Before that, you're like, I got booger hanging off my face. I don't give a dang. Right. Whatever. It's just a booger. Right. Yeah. Like, you know, before the world comes in and starts telling you you're limited. Right. Yeah. And I think it's us that do this, Shellda. It's so crazy. The more I play sports, I realize that it's human beings that stop human beings. That we could do so much more if we just stop telling people what they can't do. Right. Yeah. What they can do. But I am finding a way to get through to young adults, and I'm going to keep that between me and because I feel my programs are successful. You know, maybe someday I'll write a book. But I'm being able to get through to people and finding out what makes them tick and how they can be, how they can unlock that inner child. I really, truly believe it's unlocking the inner child. You know, maybe that'll be the name of my book. Someone write that down. But, you know, that is truly what separates us is true belief. And, you know, when I started digging into that, and I know that's not part of your questions, when I started looking back at my career, I'm not, well, I used to be the fastest. I'm no longer the fastest. I was definitely one of the top 2 or 3 fastest, but I've never been the most talented, never been the most graceful. I am not the top of any of those books, maybe the most aggressive at one point and close to the top speed. I was a mouse speed at one point in my life. But I never lost that. I never lost that like childhood belief. Ask my wife. She yells at me daily. I just always know I can do it. Yeah. So, you know, like we're at a tournament, they're like, hey, no one's made that corner. Can you make it? Yeah, I can make that corner. And I make that corner. Right? Like, can you make that snake? Yeah, of course I make that snake. I've been making it for 30 years. Yeah. I can't tell you why I make it. 3 other people faster than me or better lane runners or whatever. I just will it to happen.
Yeah, it's that self-belief first.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, but the youth mind, if it hasn't been beat down by the world or the parents, if they haven't spent too much time on one of these, or if they don't have a family that tells them what they can't do, parents out there, please don't just tell your kids all the things they do, please. But if you can unlock that in a young adult where they have, the body to follow that, bro,
wild. Yeah.
People do some things where I'm like, oh, I've never even done that. I just made that up right now, but you did it. It was so awesome. Like it's true belief.
Yeah.
Right? No, Thomas said I can do that. I believe him. I believe in myself. I'm going to go do that. And then they do it. So, I mean, unlocking this coaching role for myself and then unlocking the psyche of what that is and then reading a lot of books and then some of them make sense, but then I kind of think I have my own twist on it. Or I'm sure someone else is unlocked the same way I do it, but it is fun and it's rewarding. And even if I coach, 1,000 people over the next 10 years, 50 of them become pro, let's say, or semi-pro, or whatever their goal is. Because I always tell people, you have a goal. I'm going to help you achieve that goal. It doesn't matter what that goal is. Maybe your goal is just to play one national event. Maybe your goal is to play, whatever regional event. If I can help them unlock what it takes to do that, then I feel like I've done my job as a coach.
Yeah, for
right.
Sure.
And I generally can read pretty quick the potential level of someone.
Yeah.
Based on what they're asking for, what they want. And then, I think I'm going to be happy with that, Shellda. I think I really am. I think it's going to be very satisfying, just seeing them accomplish their goals, whatever it is. I'm like, some of them might be, I want to win a D5 local event. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Like, we don't all have to have the same aspirations. And I think it's where the real world gets us wrong. We're not all the same people. Not everybody's a Thomas Taylor. Like, I have to be the best at everything in the world. Some people want to be noticed, man. Mm-hmm. Some people want to they want to be a good teammate. Yeah. I can help you be a good teammate. I can help you change your attitude, right? Like, there's different levels to this. There's so many different levels to this.
Well, I think that's the goal of what you're saying right there is you're making their goals about them, not you. Like, I can make you pro. I can get you to World Cup. I can make you here. That's all you pushing your agenda, but you're flipping that and really getting to know them and what they want. And then you're changing your coaching habits to drive their version to help them. And that's where a lot of the self-doubt starts to go away, because now their coach believes in what they want and you're not trying to mold them.
Yeah. You have to meet them where they're at, man. You have to meet them where they're at. And, you look at, I love sports. I've watched a lot of good coaches, coaches that can meet the players where they're at and have vast diversity of personalities. Look how good those teams do.
Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that they run on, dynasties, like the Patriots for years and the Lakers for years and the Yankees. Like, they're able to manage all of that, all still while, making these individuals the best versions of themselves. Yeah,
and that's where it has to be. It has to be. So many people talk system, and I get it. You got to have a system, like a way how you're going to win.
Yeah.
But not everybody fits the system. So you have to meet them where they're at to get the best out of them in that system, or decide that there needs to be someone else in that system for you. Mm-hmm. But I'm not there yet. I'm allowing everybody to just follow their dreams and try to meet them where they're at.
Yeah. Gosh, I love that. Let's do the opposite of that. Let's go back, let's say 15 years. Well, actually kind of 15 years. What advice would you give to the young Thomas Taylor now that you're here, 10, 20, 30 years later? And what advice would you give to, you're looking at the young Thomas Taylor and your son is standing next to him. Like, what advice would you give to those two?
That is great, because I've been thinking about it a lot this last off season. Honestly, it's a perfect question for me. I think the biggest advice I could give myself, and I'm trying to find a way to pass on to my son, is that our sport is very, very small. And even though we come from other sports where you can fully be you and trash talk and do everything, honestly, you make some enemies, that people that hold grudges that are going to be around for a long time. And I think that held me back in a lot of areas. Like, I got offers from teams that I didn't take because I was just too loyal, too excessive. Then I could have won other world championships and made more money, but later on, like, they held that against me. Or, we're on the field and, you and I get into it and I'm really heated, or, I'm overly upset at a teammate that made a bad decision. And so I bark out loud instead of just internalizing that and saying, hey man, what can I do better? And so over the time, to get to this level where I'm at, or where any of us are at this level, you're going to be loved and hated. And I understand that truly. Yeah. I truly do. You don't get to be any kind of famous. And I get we're only paintball famous. I'm not trying to say we're world famous, but even in our world, you're loved or hated, right? You go online and people are going to love and hate you. And that's okay. But I think I hurt relationships along the way from people that I grew to respect, or decided that, they're not as bad as they thought they were. We were just competitors. And I don't know that they've all forgiven me or like accepted me, right? They've held it against me. Like, and so I'm, if I can say anything to myself is, be the fire on the field, but immediately be able to turn it off. Right. Not hold it for a second, not threaten to freaking take Ryan Greenspan out back and beat the living piss out of him because he cheated me. Right. Like, I've grown to like Ryan, like, oh man, maybe if we would have hung out earlier, had conversations, like maybe we would have been cool. But, for a time I had a grudge against him because he cheated me and cost me a second. Right. And, and I'm, with that being said, I probably cheated him 20 times. So what does it make a difference? Come on, man. Like, let's just be real about it. Right. But in the moment, in that passion, sometimes I hold on to it for too long. Once again, my wife would probably come over here and say, praise the Lord. Yes, of course. But I think that's the biggest thing. Like, so when you're coming up, and I'm going to speak to specifically some people without saying their names.
Sure.
It's not about you. No matter how hard you work, no matter what you put in, no matter how many more hours than your teammates, go out there, be a good teammate, and let it be shown on the field, not by your words, but by your actions. And when something else happens, let it in quick. Short memory, just like we have to have on the field. Win or lose, you have to have a short memory, right? Boom, because you got to be right back out there. Let the interactions be short memories, and then just be a genuinely good person afterwards. Because the people that have gotten to know me, I would like to believe most of them think I'm a pretty good human being. Mike and Himon and I didn't talk for like 2 years after I played for him. And I bet if you call Mike Himon right now, he would, trust me with his life. I'm pretty sure, because we got to actually know each other as human beings, not just as Thomas Taylor, the player that played in his team that he had to deal with.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. And, so I feel like we're such a small industry, yeah, you can watch the basketball players and the football players and they trash talk and they do all their stuff and then they move to a different team, but every team has 100 players and there's 32 of them and there's this and that. Paintball, man, we're so small. And just because I come from a sports background, and maybe some of you do, a lot of people in this sport do not come from a sports background, and they don't understand that mentality, and they just think you're a bad person for the rest of your life. And I hope most of them can forgive me. But that's what I'm trying to teach my son, because he is not me. He's his mother. He's way smarter than me. He's way more methodical than me.
Yeah.
He's going to be a better paintball player than me. I'm just going to be real with you right now. He's more of a, Marcelo or Ryan Greenspan, those, methodical, awesome players, right? He's a very good thinker. He does it all the way. With me, I'm just a rock biter. I wanted to go shoot 3 people a game and be like deuces, I've learned to do the other part of it, but that just wasn't in my thing. Even when we played in the woods, where he's been here for 7 minutes. You shoot at those 3. I'm going to go bunker those 3 dudes. I'll meet you in the dead box. All right. Yeah. I'm out, bro. Freaking retire. This is crazy, right? Now I enjoy the other part of the game, but that took me 20 out of my 25 years of pro to even get to.
Yeah.
But he has my fire, right? He can look at a teammate that makes a simple mistake, including me, like on a Thursday night when we're having fun, be like, Dad, why'd you do that? And I'm like, yo, dog, I thought we were just having fun. Okay, right. I'll be more serious, right? He has that like same mentality as me, is like, he wants perfection. And if you cheat him or you don't do your job, he just doesn't understand How do you not understand that? Right? Like, and I get that. I love it about him. It's time and a place, man, because people don't forgive. They don't forgive. They hold on to it forever. And like, it costs you opportunities in life. And over what? Okay, dude cheated you. Move on, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to cheat him probably later. Let's be real about it. Or if you weren't planning on cheating him, cheat him now. Make it, make it in later on. Be like, yo, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's ways to get around it and not let it set in here and affect the circle, because our circle is small. And honestly, as a paintball community, we have to stick together. There's dudes I know would stab me in the back right now, but I'm still going to work with in this paintball industry because we need to grow this industry. I love this industry. I cannot let it die. Not that it's dying, people. It's not dying. We are thriving, bro. Paintball is good, but you know what I mean? There was a time where it was, and like, people were not banding together because, I got this, or I got that, or you did this, or you did that. So anyways, that was a long drawn out answer. Short memory. Don't make enemies. Be a good teammate, man.
Yeah.
That's the
love
answer.
that. Yeah. I mean, that's the key to anything, right? Especially in our sport, is if you can shut it off quick and not let it fester, because then it just spills everywhere. It spills into the next point, and then now you're still blaming that person for that, and it's like, you can just be a goldfish and just drop that quick. Like, that's life advice that you can learn at that age.
Facts across the board. I mean, it only took me 42 out of my 46 years. So
but hey, some people will never figure it out though. So like, at least you did.
Sorry it was so long.
No, don't apologize. Let's do the opposite. Let's go out to the future 10 or 15 years, and maybe you've hung up the cleats by then, maybe you haven't. What's something that you would look back and be most proud of?
Man, that is the most proud of. I don't know that I can honestly even answer that because I feel I'm gonna be real with you, like, and maybe it's just the competitor to me. I feel like the best is yet to come, Shellda.
Yeah.
Like, I just hold myself to a high standard, and once again, that short memory I struggle with. I feel like I've messed up so many things along the way. And what should have been the highlight of the things I could remember is going pro, accomplishing the best, becoming the best known team in the world, becoming, that team everybody wanted to be on. But in that, I made so many mistakes, so many errors, so many selfish things that, I don't know. I can't tell you in 10 or 15 years, I'm going to look back and be like, that's the highlight of my career. I want to say that I hope that in 15 years, I can look back at the whole of paintball, whether I'm playing or not, and be able to look at moments where I changed people's lives. Yeah. Whether it be a coach, whether it be a teammate, whether it be someone I'm coaching, whether it be, I get people that message me all the time like, hey man, I'm struggling. Can you pray for me? And I don't even know these people, and I'm like, yeah, of course. Right. Like, I don't know what that moment is going to be. Maybe I actually helped someone in a real rough time that I don't even know about. Maybe I won't know until, I meet the good Lord, that there was something that I did that was truly meaningful in this life. Because guys, I love all the trophies. Don't get me wrong. And I will fight. Like, you saw me in tears. I want to be on that profile, and I want to do that. Like, but there's things that are so much more meaningful, man. Like, and don't get me wrong. You step on the field against me, I have zero other thoughts in my mind except for destroying you and taking your trophy. I do not want to beat around that bush. Yeah. But when we're not on the field, man, I just look at the bigger picture, and I'm hoping in 15 years I can look back and say I made a difference in someone's life that maybe saved them. Maybe they had addiction. Maybe they had a family problem. Maybe they were lost and they needed a home. Maybe I don't know, man. Maybe it's one of my kids, Keith, and he would have gone a different route, but because he had sports and because he had us, that he chose a good route, and he has a great family and he has a career. I don't know, man. But no offense to all my paintball playing lovers out there, I don't know that I'm going to be able to look back and say my greatest accomplishment was paintball. This is a gift, and I'm truly glad. And I have worked, day in and day out for at least 25 straight years without taking a break. So I don't discount that either, because it's not about playing tournaments. It's the time in between that you truly find out what you're made of. But yeah, I don't know. That's a great question. I hope it's something more meaningful than paintball, if we're going to be real about it. And that's not take anything away from our sport.
You also answered it very well too, because I think one of the things I've learned about you in this podcast so far is you're a very I love the term lately, and I've just found it lately, like burn the ships or burn the boats mentality, where like I'm going all in on this and I'm trusting myself. And by, for example, leaving JT, like, hey, whatever is new now, like this is my avenue. I'm going
I haven't
forward.
even signed a deal yet. I've just been told that we're going to do things. It's okay,
See,
cool, man. I trust.
Yeah. And I think I look at this first half of your career as obviously it was all self, right? It was you growing the brands, Infamous, Excessive, but now you're stepping into the second half where it's going to be about everybody else. And I think your best work, you haven't even started yet.
Oh, man, I hope so, bro. That means a lot to me. Really, Shellda, that means a lot to me. I really hope it is. I hope that that people remember me for what I did for other people, not for my career.
For sure, because like when I saw the iconic brand, because it kind of is a brand at this point now, when I saw it come up, I was like, man, it just brought so much back for me. When I first saw the Infamous logo years ago, I was like, that's such a cool logo. It's got a cool like vibe to it. Like I felt it, and I can see iconic now being kind of that same thing. It's like you're going to be building something that other people are going to believe in and want to get behind as well.
I appreciate that, man. Like there's a lot of heart and passion put into it. Like, iconic, the idea of iconic comes all the way back from Excessive, right? Like, Matt Marshall and I sitting around and being iconic. I almost opened a paintball field in like 2005 that was named Iconic Paintball.
Wow.
And I'm not going to do iconic paintball now because we have iconic paintball, the media source, right? And Quinn's a good dude, right? But this is different, right? This is a team, and we want to make a statement. We want to make a real statement. And so when you're looking at the logo, it has a little piece of everything these kids have done over the last 5 years. I mean, if you don't know our story, go back and look at the pages. You'll notice that this has, when we designed it, everything, right? Hold on. It's left, right, left. Everything has to do with some piece of us, some piece of the kids and what they've earned and what they've done. And a piece of my story too, right? Yeah. Excessive, Infamous, Extreme, Shock. I mean, it's all here, right? Like it's truly embedded into who we are. And I think that's one thing that paintball lacks is history, So I'm hoping. Oh, I guess I got it right here too. So I guess we can. I'm proud of what they've done, not what I've done, and they are living on my legacy, and that really does make me happy. And obviously, living on that legacy through my son and my other son. He's 9, bro. He's a little beast. I don't know if you saw that video I put up today, but he came out and he's like, "Yo, Dad, can I earn a spot on that semi-pro team?" I said, "Get your gun, dog. Let's see what you got." He's out there doing the drills, bro. He's 9 years old, bro.
That's crazy.
He's like me though. He's not like my wife and my older boy. He's like me. He's a little wild. So I gotta tame that one.
Platform on every team though. Everyone needs one.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like we put a lot of thought and energy into it, and it means a lot to our family. It means a lot to my story and my years. It means a lot to. I hope it means a lot to paintball because there's just not enough histories told. Or shared or captured, it's not that often that I don't know someone that knows like Heroes for a Day or Excessive, but every now and then people just don't even know. And I'm like, oh, what are we doing?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, I'm so thankful for Dynasty, to be honest with you. I know we were rivals forever, but at least they're living it on, right? They're the one true, machine, with Hormesis and then, with the videos and the magazines, Alex Fraiche, I just love that guy, man. He's just keeping paintball alive and doing great things. I probably don't text him enough and just tell him I love him and how great he is. But Yeah, I'm glad you noticed, dude, because it does mean a lot to us. It really means a lot to my family and everything else, from infamous kids to across the board.
Yeah, you can see it, and I think that's, as it grows, like I think that's what's going to help people learn about Iconic, and then once you see that, then they start to learn about the story behind it and why the brand. And so, yeah, what you're saying is exactly, I think, the path that it's on right now.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome, man. This has been incredible. I want to respect your time, but I've got a really cool way that I always end any of my podcasts.
Okay.
I always have the previous guest leave a question for next week's guest without knowing who it is.
Okay.
And so you'll get to leave a question for somebody, but it's kind of cool. So I recorded this one a few weeks back, and he didn't know that you were going to be on, and so it's just kind of cool how it all works out. The question for you is from Flycan Media. So Ben.
Oh, I love Ben. That's my dog, dude. Right?
And so, like, it's crazy how the world works, where he didn't know you were going to be on because you and I hadn't locked it down yet. So you'll be super happy to hear that you're answering his question.
Okay, cool.
And it's a really good one too. So his question is, how are you, and we've talked about this a little bit, but how are you personally growing the sport? Are you doing it for yourself or for the greater good? And if that's changed at all, at what point did that change?
Love it. And that is a multi-loaded question. Good job, Flycan. So originally, I started growing the sport for me. I got into owning a field in California before the fires. I was trying to grow it because I needed an income. It's what I've done my whole life. I should be able to live off of it, right? So that was my my motivation, right? And then when I started building teams, the first NCI, NorCal Infamous, I really started getting the personal part of it. And I was like, well, there's more to this. There's growing people, right? And so I got to meet some just awesome human beings. Thomas Massengill and Scott Stewart was in my program, a little college kid out of Chico State. Now he's just crushing it, one of the best in the world, right? So I see these people and they're hungry, and and then the paths have gone, but what I'm doing to grow the sport now is so much larger, right? Like, and we touched on it today. Like, I literally had a conversation with Tom Cole today saying, like, finally, like, will you please listen to me? My son is no longer, and so no one can say this is selfish.
There's no bias.
Here is the plan. There's no bias. This is an unbiased way to move forward. I've been talking to parents for 4 years that their kids have quit paintball. They're out of paintball. Because of the way we structure it, because we base everything on the 1% instead of looking at the 99%. And isn't that what America's about? Aren't we supposed to be focusing on the 99%, right? And I am trying to help on every facet. I told Tom, I don't need, you don't get to pay me. I will help. Here's a plan to make things better and get kids back in the sport. I go out and we have our Iconic program. Sorry, it was the infamous program, and then it was an NMIX program. It's been the Iconic program for the last couple of years. Do we get something out of it? Of course. I get to be around my son, and we try to raise enough funds to cover my flight, my wife's flight, and my assistant coach, Pete Sigra. Thank you, Pete. You're an awesome human being. But we are growing the sport. These other coaches are charging $500, $1,000, $2,000 a day, to coach. And should I be? Absolutely. Have I done it a lot? Yeah. But right now, that's not my focus. My focus is growing a program. But I can name a few different things. I want to see youth grow around the world. And I'm trying to help. I've talked with Mike. I've talked with Tom. I've talked with his leaders I have ways to do it. It's getting it to come from the top down so everybody can get on board. I'm trying to grow it in the Northwest paintball. Corey Field just left. Love you, Corey. He's in Texas. There's a vacuum, and I'm trying to fill it because we need to grow Northwest paintball. I started here when I was a kid. I watched it go away. I watched it start to come back. My goal is to grow it locally and regionally. And then the other part of it, we've touched on a bunch. Like, I want to be an ambassador for the sport through great actions and through great words, and not be the Thomas Taylor everybody's used to, right? Just the action figure on the field, or whatever you want to call it, that is very controversial, and I get it. And I'm going to be on the field. I'm still going to be that guy at times. Don't get me wrong. I'm passionate, and I can't always control it, but truly want to grow the sport, man. Like, and so I'm working with it. You know, I'm I help, the USXBL, I help the WCPBL, I help the NXL, I help local leagues. I am truly trying to grow the sport because I don't have anything involved in it. Yes, I want to open up a paintball field, and hopefully sooner or later. But that's just a little baby blip on the thing, man. So yes, I'm putting in everything I can to help the sport. Some of it is selfish. My son plays, I play. I mean, there's always got to be some part of that, but
sure, it's natural.
Yeah, but if I can continue to get people involved, love, and excited about it, dude, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm truly at. And I just, I hope more of these conversations I have with the big people, they will try to just truly look at, like, I don't have, any skin in the game. I've given my whole life for this sport.
Yeah.
What I got out of it is memories, and I'm okay with that. But I want people to have so many more memories and so many more opportunities than I have.
Yeah, it's the next part of it. Yeah, beautiful answer.
Thank you.
Pressure's off. You get to leave a question for next week's guest without knowing who it is.
All right, I gotta leave right now.
Right now.
That's the pressure on.
What's funny is, like, I've had, I don't know, I'm 60 some odd episodes in. I've had the best in paintball from all different, right? And like, we'll go through some super deep questions. This is the point where, like, I'll see people like start to kind of like move around their seat. They get nervous. Like, what do I do? What do I think? What do I ask? And it could be anything. I've had people ask, very specific paintball questions. I've had some people ask very philosophical life questions, and some people ask like silly questions too, like, is soup a cereal or chowder? And so it's literally wherever you want to take it, you could go with it.
No, honestly, I can go through a lot of different questions, but since we got so deep in this podcast, and I like where you're going when I listen to your podcast, and you try to get to like the heart of things, so, if you could do one thing that could push paintball forward 10 years, what would that be? What would it look like? And how would you get it accomplished? Not just saying, we'll be on TV. I want to be very clear, because we've already proven that's not it. How can we truly advance our sport for all people to grow that are in it and bring more people in it? Like, what is that thing?
That's a great question, because I think a lot of people always are okay to throw the idea out, but then are quick to not think about the how behind it.
Because it's hard. It's a question I go over a lot. I'm like, what can I do to truly advance the sport? It's a hard question for me to answer, so I want to hear it next too. Yeah. Someone has something in there, because that's a good one.
Beautiful. I think I'll tell you in a few minutes here when we wrap up who it's gonna be. And it'll be a good answer for sure.
Oh yes, let's go, baby.
Yeah,
I love it.
Awesome. Well, Thomas, this is what I've been looking forward to for a really long time. So thank you so much for coming on. And man, I'm just so excited for this next chapter of your life and your career too. Like, you're about to write a beautiful book, that's for sure.
No, thank you, man. God bless. I love being here. Keep doing your thing. I got you. We're going to support you forever. And go Iconic, man. It's a new chapter. I'm ready for it.
Yeah, big year. Awesome. Well, to everybody else, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Shellda podcast. Catch you next time. See ya.